arrest Besigye at this very moment, where Ugandans are agitating when Museveni is plotting to initiate a coup d'etat, when Museveni is plotting to assassinate National Unity Platform, when Museveni is plotting to place Kyagulanyi Ssentamu under house arrest, when Museveni is plotting to assassinate the leader of alternative business in government. Why would Besigye, a man who mentored Lukwago, and now he is coming on the media trying to divert Ugandans from these issues, and we concentrate on Besigye? Mind you, fellow Ugandans, during Besigye's reign as the leading opposition leader in Uganda, Mr. Besigye led to the illegal arrests of the people of Uganda. Many of them, they were not traced. They were not demanded as we are demanding these ones in this Kyagulanyi era, because everything is in the light. So Mr. Dr. Kizza Besigye led to the arrests, illegal arrests or kidnaps of Ugandans during his days when he was traversing the country. Now, this is the same man, a month or so ago, some of his party members were expedited again, 23 or 30 of them, into Uganda. And the most confusing thing is, while securing their bail in the court martial, the leader, a prominent leader in Kenya, Elder Father Baba Raila Odinga, secured their bail. So Raila Odinga paid all the money which was asked. These individuals, they were 30 or less, but Museveni's illegitimate regime, via its judicial system, it said that each individual must pay 2 million Uganda shillings, right? And Mr. Besigye and Lukwago, they are close friends to Mr. Raila Odinga. Now, one may ask, why was Besigye arrested in Kenya? Well, knowing that Kenya, its current president, Mr. William Ruto, he is an agent of dictator Museveni. And according to my understanding, my opinion, and my interpretation of the unfoldment of political event in Uganda, Mr. Kizza Besigye, doctor, he is still the NRA political commissioner, and he is active. The people of Uganda, we should put our eyes in the mind, and we start asking ourselves that while Besigye was still the opposition leader in Uganda, we did not see the agitating for change as it is today. Everything today are being done in the broad daylight. During Besigye's reign, everything was left to the politicians, and we could not hear any prominent leader coming out apart from Alhaji Hussein Chanjo. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala glorify his soul, give his soul the light. He is the only one who used to come out and say it is the people of Uganda to free themselves from dictator Museveni. We did not see Besigye. Besigye was always keeping us down low, showing us that we cannot do anything as a society. None of them has ever recited Article 1 as it is in this Kyagulanyi era, in this Kyagulanyi's generation, in this Kyagulanyi-led administration of National Unity Platform. Nobody, no prominent politician has ever prioritized Article 1 in sensitizing the masses. We have seen this on Kyagulanyi era. So, dear brothers and sisters, as we continue to delve into this conundrum of Kizza Besigye, It has a lot to do with the Catholic Church. The Archbishop of Nairobi Diocese rejecting Mr. Ruto's donation, 5.6 million Kenya shillings. Now you can see that this rejection of Mr. Ruto by the spiritual organization, it does not portray a clear picture with regards to his political career. You understand? Now, Besigye come and try to confuse Ugandans not to focus what's happening in Kenya, to focus on Besigye, to come again to raise his hand and widen his big eyes to confuse us more, thinking that we are still gullible as we were while he was still promising his political rhetoric, outdated as they were. Now, Mr. Dr. Kizza Besigye, Mr. Dr. Kizza Besigye, why were you arrested in Kenya? Why were you arrested in Kenya? If you a prominent leader, when you were leaving to Kenya, we didn't know about nothing. You are not saying anything about the arsonism that is going on in Uganda. And if we may observe more nicely, we can see that the tendencies of arsonism, the burning of schools, the burning of organizations, the burning of small-scale people who are doing business, it is on a rise in Kenya. Those are the tendencies of which we can say that Museveni is in Kenya. Museveni, he has deeply also infiltrated Kenya political realm. You understand? We can see that. That is why we are so suspicious. What led Mr. Raila Odinga to be given a position in a rotten regime, a regime of which he fought, a regime that made an attempt to his life. So the people of Africa, fellow East African, we have to open our eyes and look at these elderly leaders. Remember, we are not negating their efforts ever since they started. But in Uganda, we have a proverbial saying which states that ekitava ku ssengejjero kifuuka enkaako, meaning that any person who does not refrain from some other stuffs or duties, he may become spoiled, or he can overdo it and ruin all the things that he has done in the benefit of the people, and lead the people to even despise all the goods you did. Now, if Mr. Raila Odinga, in your age, if you have served little enough, and the people knew exactly your conviction that you were fighting for democracy and the rule of law, and you have seen that your physical ability is declining, and the ancient philosophy says that any leader must be inspirational. You want to prove us in all these years you have not mentored anybody of whom you can endorse? We see Babu Owino. Where is the endorsement? Because we are fighting with vigorous killers who does not hesitate. So Mr. Raila Odinga, what we are saying is that you are confusing people. You are confusing us, Ugandans. Why would you pay the bail application well knowing that the courts in Uganda do not work? Are you an affiliate of FDC in Uganda? People who are changing colors? People who are not good in their words? Is that a person you can trust? Father Raila Odinga, there is a confusion in our minds. We are fighting a battle which is so sophisticated. It is known to you. You have been in East African political realm for quite a long time. You know how these political events are unfolding. And the people of East Africa have realized this, that we are somehow being soothed down or pacified by political rhetoric. You understand? You reached a moment to go to Uganda to solicit a vote for Museveni because you want to go in African Union. Why would you solicit a vote from a rotten man? Won't you say that, no, I'm not going to do this? Because we see that your understanding is different. Maybe your aspirations are different from those you pursued when you were still vigorous and physically fit. You understand? We received the information and we came still on the internet and we uttered it out that Mr. Besigye and his mentor, currently the flag bearer of the newly inaugurated political party by Besigye and Lukwago. So we received the information that Lukwago was given a mission to do away with you. And now we see that you paid the money for those people who were expedited by government, Ruto's government to Uganda to be charged. You understand? If they were terrorists, why are they not being remanded as the NUP freedom fighters? You understand? They were expedited from exile and they came back to Uganda. Why did Museveni give them amnesty to the extent of securing them a bail? And Mr. Ruto, you're the one who paid the bail. That confuses us. And we say that Mr. Museveni, via Ruto, empowered Museveni to do something in your assassination. And we received that you owe Lukwago a lot of money. And Lukwago was with a mission to do away with you. I'm not quite sure whether you met Besigye while he was there. You understand? So the people of Africa, East Africa, mainly, we have to scrutinize the mind of our elders. What are their goals? What are they driving? Are they still with the same sense of liberty? Are they still driving the same sense of liberty? East Africa is a region. East Africa, it is a region. Mr. Elder Laila Odinga, this is so confusing. You people, what do you want us to do? This is so confusing. What do you want us to do? What do you really want us to do? What do you really want us to do? Should we distrust all of you? Should we distrust the whole of the elderly people? Imagine the amount of tear gas you have sniffed in your old age. And you agree to follow the creed. Didn't you understand what happened to Paul Kawanga Semogerere when he is sent to serve in Museveni's regime? Where is he? He died as disgraced as he was because of the disappointment, because of the Lukwago's, the people whom you embrace. Oh, Elder Laila Odinga, this is so annoying. Who is this Lukwago? The man who is confusing Ugandans, the man who failed to tell us the real deal, that Parliament, it is the one that regulates Museveni's stability into our political institutions. The moment His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu came onto the political scene, we have seen a lot of things we never knew they did exist when it comes to leadership. We never knew that people can speak nicely, but when go in the darkness, they sign death agreements to those whom they disagree with. We've come to understand all of this. We've come to understand all of this. Thus, this afternoon, brothers and sisters, I said that only the dead know the end of war. Only the dead No, the end of war, it was uttered by Plato. Okay? So brothers and sisters, when it comes to Besigye, we always need to deploy a technique known as numerical analysis. So by means of numerical analytics, we come to differentiate the functions in our midst whose derivatives we are not quite sure. You understand? So by deploying numerical analysis, it can lead us to rectify a differential equation. You understand, brothers and sisters? We see Besigye, he is still on the political scene. You understand? Where does he get all this influence? Why is it that Besigye cannot deploy a sense of retirement? Didn't Besigye bring people to lead Uganda? Why doesn't he get off the political scene? Because we've been asking him to do that justly, peacefully, and say, you know what, you have served us, please step aside. Oh, endorse Uganda's vision bearer, that is Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, endorse him publicly. But he continues to come up with new, political ideology of which they do not sound even philosophically. You understand? So we are tired of these kind of vice leaders. They are not appreciative. Brothers and sisters, according to Pythagoreanism, it is a system of metaphysical speculation concerning with the relationship between numbers and their causal agencies. You understand? That is Pythagoreanism, a system of metaphysical speculation concerning with the relationship of numbers and their causal agents. Now Pythagoras went on to see and define the man, I, Besigye. I and the Besigye. Pythagoras defined the man as a creature. Pythagoras defined the man a tenfold creature consisting of 9 parts, 3 of spirit, 3 of mind, and 3 of soul. Now, the 3 qualities of man's spirit are thoughts, speech, and action. Now, the 3 qualities of mind of a man is intelligence, memory, and will. And the 3 qualities of man's soul are understanding, courage, and desire. Those are the 3 qualities of man. Now, the 10th one, which completes, it is the invisible intelligence that causes us to move and live and love and have our being on the earth. So brothers and sisters, these 3 qualities of spirit, where there is a thoughts, speech, and action. Brothers and sisters, we need to differentiate this within man. Within man, we need to differentiate this. What is Besigye's thoughts with regards to the struggle to bring change about in Uganda? What is Besigye's thoughts? They are invisible to us. They are inaccessible to us. We cannot see them. But these thoughts of Besigye can be revealed to us via actions, his actions. Thus, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu at the inception, he reminded us that we shall differentiate these leaders by their actions. Fellow Ugandans, have you seen Besigye actionably endorsing His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu? I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him publicly endorsing Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. The day he went to the headquarters of National Unity Platform, there was some kind of a gaffe that one of our own stole a phone from there. So that is what we saw. You can see that this man's thought come with a hidden agenda, smiling, widening his eyes, but he is being tormented by jealous, envy, and perhaps ethnicity inferiority. Besigye's thoughts are inaccessible to us, but his actions, they are visible to us. So if we weigh Besigye's thoughts by means of his action, can't we get a clear picture of his thoughts, even though they are not revealed? So a speech itself, it is part that has kept Museveni in power. Besigye's speech, it is part of that which has solidified Museveni in power for the past 25 years. Leave alone the 10 years they spend massacring people. Leave alone that one. We're speaking the political arena in which he has been, and he was endorsed by the late Alhaji Nasser Ntege Sebagala, of whom we suspect that Museveni's evil hand poisoned him. You understand? And how did he poison? Because Besigye had access to him. Now Besigye, he is arrested in Kenya, and we had information regarding the assassination plot of Raila Odinga, and it was to be carried out by Lukwago, a man who was mentored by Besigye. Maybe when he was exposed by Apostle ASP Asime, they switched the people who was to initiate that one. Now we see Besigye was abducted in Kenya, a diplomatic man. How could he be abducted in Kenya? And he was free in Uganda. He was working in Uganda. All of a sudden, he is kidnapped in Kenya, given his status and his wife. He is Museveni's envoy in the United Nations. Can't you see that this is a decoy? This is a diversional message. They are trying to divert us from the mission they are running. They are planning to hijack our power again. Fellow Ugandans, Mr. Besigye, he is in connivance with Museveni to keep us subjugated more. Do not buy any of Mr. Besigye's schemes. This is Museveni's script. This is Museveni's script. Mr. Luton knows exactly what they call diplomacy. There is no way he can arrest a man who was walking freely. Where did he pass to come to Kenya? Did he go by bus? The borders are well secured. Did he take a flight? Everybody is checked in. You understand? So how come that the security failed to arrest him on his way out, and they waited to arrest him in a foreign land? In a foreign land? In a foreign land? Brothers and sisters, is that perceptible? Is that perceptible? Don't you see that man, Besigye, there is a devil operative in a mind of a man? Why did Pythagoras define the man as a tenfold creature? According to them, they say that given the fact of man's 9-month embryonic life, man's number is number 9. Okay? Man's number is number 9. Remember, the one which constitutes the 10th, it is the invisible intelligence that causes us to move, to live, and have our being on the earth. Now, we are seeking to understand how to differentiate man the evil and man the savior. Okay? So we continue to delve in depth into numerical analysis. So when we go back to some symbolic figures in the Holy Scriptures, that is the Bible, according to Revelation, we find 666. Okay? When we find 666, 666 indicates that it is the number of the beast of Babylon. Why is it called the beast of Babylon? Brothers and sisters, when King Solomon captured all the incorporeal forces, 72 of them, he binded them after they had accomplished the assignment he had given them to construct the temple of God in Jerusalem. He binded them all together into a sealed case, and he went and dropped it into the deepest lake on the surface of the earth, found into Babylon. When he dropped them there, the Babylonians saw King Solomon, and they knew exactly he was wealth with gold. So they thought King Solomon had deposited gold on the bed of the lake. So Babylonians, being so tormented with materialism, gold and riches, they dived the depth and retrieved the case. And when they opened the case, the 72 incorporeal demonic forces were again free to roam the earth. Now, there came the number 666, the beast of Babylon. So how do we get this number 6 to find out whether it refers to man, myself, or to Besigye? Now, 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals to 16. 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals to 18. Now, if you add 1 to 8, you get number 9. You understand? That is the beast of Babylon. It refers to man, either me or you. But in this case, I'm the narrator and I'm complaining against Besigye. You understand? It is upon you to weigh my words, put them into a sieve, compare them to the unfoldment of political event, and see whether Bob is the beast of Babylon is operative in my mind, or Besigye, he is the agent of the beast of Babylon and it is operative in his mind. When I say the beast of Babylon, the embodiment of that, it is piled up into State House, that is Dictator Museveni and all his family. So he has got a function on the outside. This function, it is what we want to find out, of which engineers use numerical analysis to rectify differential equations. You understand? So the function, it is amidst us, but we don't know its derivatives. So if I come and I bring to your attention Besigye's motives, how he has been acting, how he has been performing with regards to the restoration of human dignity in Uganda, you will see that Mr. Besigye, he is part of the beast of Babylon, because he was part of it at the inception of what they termed as a struggle to freedom, 1980 up to 1986. 60 years of slaying human dignity, 60 years of spilling innocent blood, 60 years of confusing the minds of the people, 60 years of hacking people, 60 years of cooking people in pots, 60 years of immersing infants in 2 pots of porridge, 6 years of cutting off people's mouth in northern Uganda, 6 years. Besigye was part of it. You understand, brothers and sisters? Tell me, if Mr. Besigye, he is not the beast of Babylon, operative on Museveni's will, after all, he was part of the 100-year master plan of enslavement of the natives of Ugandans. You understand? We all know that Besigye confiscated all Toto Uganda It was taken by Besigye. Total Uganda, it was taken by Besigye. Where did he got all that money? Where did he got all that money? Where did he get all that money? Where did he get the money to own a petroleum company? Where did he got all that money? Besigye is not different to any 26 men. They are the one in possession with all Uganda parastatal companies, of which were initiated to support the economy of Uganda. Those are the people. Now, how comes that Ruto arrests Besigye in Kenya while Ruto is running business of petroleum companies in Uganda? How is that possible? The people of Uganda, Besigye is the beast of Babylon. Besigye is the beast of Babylon. Make your own analysis. Go back to history and search who is Besigye. Who is this man? What is he up to? Why doesn't he let it go? Why doesn't he let it go? Besigye. This is Besigye. Brothers and sisters, we have a problem in Kenya. We all remember, according to the information we received from ASP Asime, indicated that Mr. Museveni could not secure any loan from the Bank of the People of China. So via Ruto, Museveni secured the money, and it was based on a quid pro quo. And Ruto was promised to be given the sole owner of the coffee in Uganda. Of the coffee in Uganda. Mr. Ruto, in return for securing a loan from Museveni in the names of the people of the Republic of Kenya. You understand? You can see why would Ruto trying to give the Catholic Church money in Nairobi? Mr. Ruto, the Catholic Church have lived 2024 years. The Catholic Church have lived 2024 years. It was never supported by central governments. It is supported by us, the followers of the Catholic Church. What makes you think that you are buying the faithful people of Kenya? The tricks of Museveni won't materialize in Kenya, Mr. Ruto. Mr. Ruto, this is a weakened East African generation. There is no way you can take us into the East African community when we don't know who are leading us exactly. Who are leading us exactly? We have not seen any complaints being raised in the East African community. In the East African community. We have been complaining for far too long. We don't hear any case, we don't hear any indictment being pressed on Museveni or to come and answer. We don't hear such a thing because Museveni has got influence on African Union, he has got influence on East African community, and now here he is in Central Africa Republic. That is where he invests all the money he steals from taxpayers' money from Uganda. Mr. Ruto, what we are saying, the days of intimidation are long gone. Mr. Ruto, you will kill and kill. Eventually, the people will emerge victorious because you are but just a clique. You are but just a clique. You are but just a clique. A clique of dictator Museveni. A clique of dictator Kagame. And you yourself, you are becoming a dictator, Mr. Ruto. You have massacred the people, Mr. Ruto. You are keeping Museveni in power in Uganda. We demonstrate to tell the world to stop giving Museveni money. Now Museveni is receiving money through you. Mr. Ruto, you expect us to keep quiet? While confusing East Africans, showing that you are arresting Besigye? Do you think we don't know that Besigye and Museveni, they are working on the same script? Besigye was kept into the opposition to keep the people of Uganda in slumber. He managed to do that for 2 decades. But the Lord knows each and everything. And He knows each and everything. He knows each and everything. There is nothing you can hide from God. From God, because He is the universal mind. He is the universal mind. Please stop plotting against the people. Stop plotting against the people. The people of Africa. That is the number 666. When you reduce it to its lowest value, you get number 9, a number of man according to Pythagoreanism, a system of metaphysical speculation concerning the relationship between a number and the causal agents of existence. You understand? And he regarded a man as a creature of tenfold, a tenfold creature consisting of 9 parts, 3 of spirit, 3 of soul, and 3 of mind. So, the 3 quality of Besigye's mind, my mind. The 3 quality of Besigye's mind. Besigye, he is an intellectual because he is a doctor, right? Medical doctor. He is an intellectual. What does his memory gives him? Because the 3 qualities of mind, it is intelligence, memory, and will. Okay? What is Mr. Besigye's intelligence gives him? In response to that, I, Bob the mechanic, it gives him to confuse the minds of Ugandans. That is what his intelligence gives him. The intelligence of his deceived him that you should go in Kenya and play a diversional role to confuse the minds of Ugandans. One asks Bob the mechanic, my little intelligence is asking, why wasn't he arrested at the airport? Why is it on all mainstream media? Why is it on all mainstream media? It is because they have access to each and everything. They do have access to each and everything. Mr. Besigye, in your memory, you don't remember you sitting with Museveni and you plan to rule Uganda for 100 years? Mr. Museveni, Mr. Besigye, in your memory, there is no remembrance whatsoever that you had informed Museveni, you and Kaindo Tafire, that he should not allow the kingdom of Uganda to be reinstated. In your memory, don't you remember the clauses in the agreements into the coalition that overthrew the then Tito Okello Lutwa government, that Uganda was to be restored? Don't you remember that in your memory? What does your intelligence tell you with regards to that? To fulfill it or to change your mind? Are you a gentleman? Are you a gentleman? Mr. Dr. Besigye, are you a gentleman? Does your memory reflect on those? Does your memory reflect on those, Dr. Besigye? The 3 quality of man's mind, it is intelligence, memory, and will. Besigye, when you saw the people of Uganda voting His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu overwhelmingly into power, don't you think they had a will to accomplish? Did you ever embrace that will? Or instead, you're trying to negate it? How many organizations have you started ever since Kyagulanyi Ssentamu was elected into the presidency of Uganda? How many political activities have you initiated ever since Kyagulanyi Ssentamu was elected into the presidency of Uganda? Dr. Besigye, What does your intelligence tells you? Do you think your intellectualism surpass those of the millions that voted Kyagulanyi Ssentamu into the presidency? Do you think the layman, as you call them, are still gullible? Do you think that our mindset, it is still intimidated as it were? Do you think we are devoid of the fact, according to ASP Asime, Bible and politics, there are those individuals, tycoons, so to speak, in Uganda, who were willing even to finance a military confrontation in order to oust Museveni. And they approached you because those days, it was unthinkable that Museveni can take us this long. Mr. Dr. Kizza Besigye, according to the credible information received from ASP Asimi of Bible and Politics, undoubtedly informed us that Dr. Besigye, you betrayed those individuals and they were slain one by one. Dr. Kizza Besigye, what does your intelligence inform you when we speak of the parastatal companies of which you found into Uganda? Where are they? When you are speaking politically, you are not reciting that one. You have representatives in parliament. When did you ever request the revenues which were collected from the parastatal companies or the so-called privatization? Where did it go? What did Museveni do with that money? For the past 25 years, you are not talking of those. You are not talking of those. Instead, you are reciting, elections cannot dislodge a dictator. Oh yes, we know, but we need a justification of launching a real war against Museveni when it is well legitimized by the international community that Museveni reached the votes. Okay? Museveni went into the bush to reclaim a victory which was not his. Okay? Museveni went into the bush and massacred the people, close to 1.5 million. Baganda and Bacholi. Baganda, Bacholi, and the Easterners. Okay? And you were part of it. Dr. Kizza Besigye, you were part of it. You were part of it, Dr. Kizza Besigye. You were part of it. You are seated. Museveni took all the cash crops. For the past 25 years you have been in the power of a position leader. You were not reciting of these things. You were not reciting of these things. You are not informing Ugandans that Museveni deviated to what took us to the bush. What took you to the bush, Dr. Kizza Besigye? Dr. Kizza Besigye, what took you to the bush? For your own greed. That is the will. Because you had your own will. You had your own desires. That is what took you to the bush. Not to realize a just leadership as you are claiming. Meaning that the speech of yours, which is a quality of a mind, has been aiding Museveni's subjugation over us. For the past 25 years, your speech have been aiding Museveni in subjugating us. How does it do that? Because the international community is well legitimized of your silence. Your wife, Mama Winnie Kizza Besigye, she is the hindrance of all the petitions which are being set by the Ugandans into United Nations. Dr. Kizza Besigye, your memory does not allow you to reflect on the things that took you to the bush. Have you realized any of those? How often have you been informing Ugandans that it is not in the power of an individual to change leadership? No, you did not. You did not. You clinged on to your political rhetoric. If it wasn't for Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, if it wasn't for God's blessing, if it wasn't for God's anointment, if it wasn't for God to show the people that time is now, follow my chosen one. Being faithful as the people of Uganda, we discerned what God had revealed to us. And we went back retrospectively to see what the young man has been promulgating before the masses artistically. We could see that we took too long to understand who he was. He was a messenger throughout his career of music. Give me one song which does not carry a message. Give me one song of his which does not carry a message, everlasting message. Not like your political rhetoric that wither away the moment the function is dead. No. His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, in his artistic knowledge, there is no song you can say that this one it is not substantiated. All of them, whether it's in a groove mode, whether it's in a philosophical mode, whether it's in a religious tone, they are all sound philosophically. Dr. Kizza Besigye, we don't have any statement we can reflect on. As far as your political career is concerned, who can recite that nonsensical? What we are saying, it was about mobilizing people. You promised us, the Buduyan, that we're gonna see Dictator Museveni passing by our place going. We did not see that. We did not see that. We did not see that. We thought you were a military man, and all people were said that that one is a soldier. Once Museveni touched into our votes, we go to the bush. That's what people expected from you. But instead you told them, no, you're not going to be able. You don't understand politics. And you betrayed those people. And now we can see the contagiousness of your wickedness within the minds of leaders. We can see how wicked Lukwago has become. We can see that Lukwago can keep Kampala well stained in order to secure a loan from IMF or World Bank from Museveni. You understand? You understand? Dr. Kizza Besigye, that is on the public domain. Whatever you do, it is brought to us unequivocally, and we further the message. We further the message. We share the message up until the entire continent is fully aware that Uganda is on the verge of a civil war. Fellow Africans, we are complaining against this individual not because we don't hate, we don't like them. We don't hate nobody. But for far too long, these individuals have been aiding Museveni to solidify his subjugation over us. We did not care about leadership for the past 40 years. We did not care about that. Because the constitution was there and we knew that people would come and go. But Museveni molested it under the watch of Dr. Kizza Besigye. Possibly he was the one who proposed that one. That you should remove the term limit. That you should remove the age limit. Because Besigye, he is still active political commissioner of Interahamwe. NRA. Interahamwe Resistance Army. Right now they turned it into Interahamwe Robbers Movement, NRM. There is no such a thing as nationalism in all Museveni did. The people of Uganda, we need to start interpreting words according to their worthfulness. Where is nationalism in Museveni's conduct? Where is nationalism? Why does he call his creed National Resistance Movement? And in fact, if you interpret it directly, National Resistance Movement, the nationalism is what Museveni is resisting. You understand? Nationalism, it is what Museveni is resisting. That is Besigye's cardinal pillar as well, because he is a signatory on the 100-year master plan. Besigye is a signatory. Fellows, the three qualities of man's soul, that is understanding, that is courage, and desire. My desire and my understanding and my courage, they are unwavering. I am resolute. Because of my understanding, because of my search, why we have been so subjugated for such a long time, I understood, according to the clarion call which was issued by His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, Uganda's vision bearer, the legitimately elected President of the Republic of Uganda, from the year 2021, 14th January, up to year 2026. Brothers and sisters, that should be born in your mind as we continue to inform you and to fight Dictator Museveni with all his cronies, with all his vice leaders, with all these people in our midst. We all know that Besigye, he is part of the pending amendment bills, of which are intended to deprive Ugandans from their inalienable rights of selecting a leader of their choice. Besigye, you are part of that. You are part of that. You are part of that. Mr. Lukwago, give us one reason that made you to start a new political party, well knowing that there is a well-established political party and it is well embraced by Ugandans from border to border. From border to border. That is why we are saying conventionalism, it is a curse of modern philosophy. You understand? These people have got their own understanding and we have our own comprehension, because we are in a cosmic era whereby leadership, it is guided by light and rights, as opposed to the era in which they were exposed, which is guided by lustfulness of power and fighting. Those are their cardinal pillars. We can all attest, fellow Ugandans who are agitating for change. You all remember the statement which was uttered by Mama Betty Nambo's Madam Teacher, saying that National Unity Platform, it has got supports, but it is lacking leaders. That kind of a mentality, it is detrimental to a mind which has been subjugated psychologically for 4 decades. A woman who is exposed, a woman who knows political science, why would you utter a statement charged with negativity on a national radio, well knowing that Kyagulanyi Ssentamu does not receive airplay that can send a message as you are on a daily basis? Doesn't that disintegrate the integrity of the consistency of National Unity Platform? Because you are all accepted that you are good in political banditism and analysis. That is not what we are interested in. We are revolutionists, and when we speak, we don't speak to sound politically right. We are not interested to become politicians. What we are interested in, it is the restoration of the rule of law in Uganda, of which we are intended to accomplish by the guidance and protection and the glorious of the Most High, being led by His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu and his entire led administration. That is National Unity Platform. Nationalistic in their ideology. Nationalistic, not discrimination. It is so unifying. It is so unifying. Look at their manifesto. Look at their manifesto. Besigye and Lukwago, you coming out with a name mimicking Kyagulanyi Ssentamu's ideology. Truly I said to you, that which has been manifested may be easily and readily reproduced, but that which is ideal, Besigye Lukwago, defies the brain, which has no access to its invisible potentiality. You understand? to its invisible potentiality. You are all trying to replicate what Kyagulanyi does in the current era, not knowing his mental faculty differ respectively from those of yours. You understand? His perception differ respectively from those of yours. His conception differs respectively from those of yours. And most importantly, his mental vibrations, they are on a high octave. Remember the third principle of Hermetic principle. Everything moves, nothing at rest, everything vibrates. The higher the vibration, the higher the position in the scale. Now, compare your vibration politically to that of Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, a revolutionalist. Rate yourself in the scale. Rate yourself. Political rhetoric and revolutionary message. Can you compare? Can you compare really? You cannot. You cannot. What we're saying, that we are to attain freedom. The people of Uganda, what we are saying, it is a message of revolutionarism. We do not despise anybody's understanding, but there is a juncture all the time where we are not supposed to listen to political pundits. Political panditism, it is intended to keep your minds weak, to think they are those to fight for you, which is a lie. This is a collective responsibility. When you listen to the message being propagated by National Unity Platform, it spares nobody. It leaves nobody on their seats. No. It is a mobilization. It is a mobilization that we are ought to march to Parliament. We are to march to Parliament and force Anita Among to resign. Brothers and sisters, tell me, if we go into another general election when Anita Among, she is still piled up there. She reached a moment of saying that she must not resign, but she can let it go when her term elapses. It's not about your term to elapse, no. It is about ethics and conduct. We all know what ethics is. It is the second heading in the discipline of philosophy. Ethics. Ethics. The science of morality, self-responsibility, and character, concerned chiefly with an effort to determine the nature of good. Lukwago, where are your ethics? Where are your ethics? When you can fail the office you occupy, when you took an oath to bear allegiance and protect the Constitution, did you protect the Constitution when the people of Chitez were buried strategically by the dictator? By the dictator. People are still sleeping in camps. Fellow Ugandans, Teacher Kajubi Rumbiye came out and said that Museveni and his family, they said that they are planning to put us into concentration camps. You thought it was a joke. You all thought it was a joke. Trust me, the people even Kugolobia, that is a concentration camp. No different from that of Hitler. The people in Chitezi, that is the route to the concentration camp. The people of Bududa, those are not landslide. The mountains are being exploded. Those are not mudslide. The mountains are being exploded. Now tell me, historically, to all you geologists in Uganda, prior to Museveni's coming into power, how many times the people of Bududa suffered a landslide? How many times the people of Rwenzururu suffered a landslide? These are being exploded. They think we didn't know anything. They go, they dig the mountains and plant explosive there in order to steal people's land. When they discover any mineral in an area, they make sure they chase away the people. Brothers and sisters, Museveni he is planning to take all of us into a concentration camp. His Excellency today in his address while on national TV, NTV, he said that Mr. Museveni, whatever he does, he is doing it in the benefit of his family. He is doing it to finish Ugandans. Mr. Museveni, he is planning to take away our rights of selecting a leader by means of Mathias Mpuuga and Charles Peter Mayiga. Fellow Ugandans, according to a credible information we receive from ASP Asime and LBS Kajube Rumbuye Broadcasting Service respectively, indicates that Charles Peter Mayiga he is a contender in the coming general election as a president. He is going to contend for presidents because Mr. Museveni knows exactly. And it should be borne in your mind as well that according to ASP Asime, it indicated that Museveni said that Kyagulanyi Ssentamu must obey his demands to form a coalition government, and that Museveni must not be persecuted by the law. Museveni, we told you, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu cannot persecute any individual, but you are to face the rule of law. The rule of law. Museveni, you did not consult anybody when you went to the bush. We shall not consult Kyagulanyi Ssentamu because he is not a fighter. Mr. Museveni, we shall not consult Kyagulanyi Ssentamu on this nonsensical of promising a coalition government with who? A Rwandi?